some thoughts today from the press conference at Everton with Marcel and Silva. Thought it was a pretty decent press conference. I like the way that both of them came out together. It's portraying as a team. A lot different from what we had with Koeman and Walsh. I feel now there's a bit of accountability, especially with transfers. I thought dealt with it well with the Rooney situation. Is obviously off. The only downside, could have done with a few more questions. I think it was quite a quick press conference. But overall, I'm impressed with Brands. I thought Silva, time will tell, but he conducted himself very well. I feel more positive. I feel them working together is already on the phone to agents, looking at players, and that's the key thing for me now, is getting the players in. World Cup coming up. I would like to get a couple of players in before the World Cup starts. But overall, yeah, happy days.
Hello, my name is Joe. I'm from Liverpool and I'm here today on Toffee TV to give you my reaction to the Marco Silva and Marcel Brands press conference. Straight to it, was really pleased what I listened to. Both men looked the part, which is always a positive. But it was really important for the club to put that pressure on today, just for the fans. Really, we did not see Steve Walsh or Sam Allardyce or Ronald Koeman sit in the same room and answer questions from the media. So we were always in the dark, guessing who's doing what and who's signing who. But today it was so important for us fans to hear from them both at the same time. Marco Silva, he weren't my number one choice, but you listen to him and you kind of warm to him, and you've got to get behind him. So, but in the press conference in general, his attitude kind of reminded me of a Jose Mourinho type of figure. The way he dismissed, I think it was Finny O'Connor's question about Watford's complaint over his appointment at Everton, and would he go back for Watford type players, which for me, again, I'm not too bothered about. I'd rather us sign three really top quality players rather than go back for Jarson, who I don't think he's done anything after Christmas. So, we can relax a bit and enjoy the World Cup. Marcel Brands, important again. He didn't say much really, but he's there. You've got to see him there. As long as he's about, he's in control of everything. He's the boss. He looked the part, and we move on now. We enjoy the World Cup, and I think they're back in the 2nd of July, so we can all look forward to that. Have a bit of a rest, and as I said, we'll enjoy watching the World Cup. And thank you for listening.
So Marco Silva's done his first press conference as Everton manager, and it's safe to say I've not been this excited since a very hirsute Roberto Martinez was sat next to Bill Kenwright, sweating cobs and telling us all how he was going to get us in the Champions League. And to be fair, he very nearly did. It was the season of the fat badge. It was John Stones' Panenka penalty. It was 3-0 against Arsenal. It was 1-0 away at United. It actually wasn't that great a season when you look at the results. But we take that now, 70 odd points, finishing 6th, would have finished 4th any other season. We would take that any day. Back to their press conference though, it looks like we were all very invested, or a lot of us were very invested when Roberto Martinez came in. And then that all gradually dissipated throughout his reign as that all fell apart, and then when Koeman fell apart, and then when Allardyce came in, any goodwill towards the club kind of dissipated, and it looked like today the club are trying to redress that balance somehow. They both spoke really well together, and they very much look like they're going to be a team. Marco Silva spoke about getting the fans on side and how important the fans can be to the club and to the team going forward. They both, another quote from Marco Silva was that he was asked about, do we need a new striker, and he sort of said it's not about maybe getting a new striker in, it's maybe seeing what we've got, using them better, making the team work better for them, which anyone who saw St Tosun's goal return last season on the back of very few chances would probably be inclined to agree with that. So it looks like the two of them are going to take a bit more of a measured approach to things. and not just go all guns blazing into the transfer market like we did last season, which can only be good news really. Yeah, I just thought they came across really well. Marcel Brands looks the man, Marco Silva looks the part. Yeah, I for one, I've fallen head over heels for them big time. Let's just hope the football sweeps us off our feet next season.
Good evening, lads. Aaron Phillips here. Just talking about the Marcel Brands, Marco Silva reaction video from the first interview. I thought they both came out and spoke very, very well. It seemed like there was a good relationship between the two already. They seemed to both be singing from the same hymn sheet. I actually thought it was interesting that Marcel Brands himself came out with a pre-prepared statement. He was kind of ready, and they kind of both seemed ready. They kind of had a symbiosis, kind of ready to go. So, and I thought it was really interesting. They kind of had a plan as far as not just addressing which players would come in naturally, being prepared with a bigger budget, but also kind of ready to identify which players should be heading out. And I thought it was really nice to hear that they were talking about like club legend Wayne Rooney kind of coming back in a possible coaching role, and also additionally talking about the ethos of the club, what the expectation was for the coming season. There seems to be a real alignment in both of their thinking, so I'm kind of excited to see what the two of them have to offer. And I think a lot of people have already echoed this in the fact that you can definitely see that Marco's there more as a coaching role and kind of ready to get into drills with the players and kind of work with them on a level. And he was talking about building relationships. Whereas Brands seems to, I mean, he talked about it in the interview himself, kind of saying, he'd already had calls from agents, his phone being buzzing the first day he got there, so it's kind of really interesting to see. So, yeah, top notch.